hold on to my mind. Step into the light.
AI stands for artificial intelligence. A good way to start is right now you can go on the internet and download chatterbots. And a chatterbot is a programming list that just says if somebody says this, then give them this answer. It turns out that a lot of the things that we think of as artificial intelligence, like Siri, are actually just chatterbots. They have a long list of possible questions and possible answers that they relate to. The true artificial intelligence is the machine should be able to come up with an answer that isn't pre-programmed into it. It has other data, and it uses the data that it knows plus some logic formulas to come up with possible answers.
AI is artificial intelligence. It's not just robots or androids. It also, in video games, are referred to the computer creating itself as an opponent or having a mind of its own to be able to put up a challenge as AI. You know, when you play chess on your computer against the computer is creating artificial intelligence so it can play you.
Now, there's a lot of talk. As a matter of fact, one of the big investors, if you look at the current science, Popular Science magazine, they talk about how the inventor of Facebook is investing heavily into artificial intelligence, and this is the kind of artificial intelligence that he hopes will eliminate all disease. This is one of his goals by the end of this century, because it'll be able to run so many other more calculations than a normal human can. Of course, the big fear that people have is at some point computers will outthink humans, and because they'll outthink humans, humans will no longer be necessary, and we'll lose our humanity and be enslaved by a bunch of computers. I don't believe in that. I think the easiest solution is if a computer is trying to take over the world, you unplug it. If it doesn't have any power, it goes to sleep and the threat is over. The bigger concern would be who gets to use the most intelligent machines, and that would be more of a problem. Here you have societies that already have lots of money and resources, and now they have more intelligence, and so they can make better decisions than other people, and so the rich get richer and the poor get poorer and so forth. I think that's a more valid concern than robots taking over the world.
I do think AI is ethical because it probably has a lot more to give than it has to destroy, or it has more to offer rather than being destructive. I mean, obviously, just like with anything, like the nuclear bomb, there's bad things and there's good things about it. And AI, of course, just like cloning or stem cell research, there's good things about it and there's bad things about it. I think the good heavily outweighs the bad when it comes to AI. I think AI is something that we can't avoid. Like, we could talk about it all we want, and I don't think we should stop talking about it, but it's gonna happen. It's a matter of when, not a matter of if. Today we're dealing with a lot of things where we're trying to wonder if new lifestyles are acceptable in society, and we're trying to adjust things for those lifestyles. And I think that's good because it's gonna get us ready for when the AI is like that.
Do you want to destroy humans? Please say no.
Okay, I will destroy humans.
High school isn't easy, neither is college. Earn a 26 on the English portion of the ACT and add that to your composite score. If you got 53 or above, you just earned credit for English 1001 at LSU. That's enough to make Coach Sears throw a dance party in your honor. So what do you say, St. Paul's? Let's have that dance party.
Wait, no. Ooh, it said iOS 10 installing in 4 seconds. No.
So we're doing the interview tomorrow. Probably about roughly 15 years ago, a buddy of mine had his own computer business building them, and he needed a hand. He pulled me into it and started from there. 15 years ago, it was a much different industry. As things came out, I learned what to do. I started building computers by sticking my hands in cases and cutting them and bleeding everywhere and building computers. Prior to St. Paul's, I was in the restaurant business, and it was an easy decision. Do you want to continue to work nights and weekends sweating for ungodly hours? Or do you want a job where you can wear decent clothes, work in air conditioning, and be off on the weekends? It surprises me because usually when I'm walking around campus working and students address me, they say, "Hey, Mr. Holmes," which I find absolutely hilarious. I'm Greg Smith, not Mike Holmes. He's the name, I'm the face. Of course. They're just saying hi, being friendly, and I smile and wave back. Well, consider this. We have roughly 900 students, which I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's 900 cell phones that are not turned off. Let's add to that 150 staff members, another 150 phones that are not turned off. Let's talk about the iPad in your bag that's looking for Wi-Fi. Maybe it's turned off, maybe it's not. Then you've got other devices that you've got the wireless access points that are always on. You've got teachers in classrooms teaching while streaming. Valuable tools. It's all taking bandwidth. We have 100 meg download speed, and it just gets used. We don't throttle the user. We have it throttled at the access point. That's all there is to it. St. Paul's is awesome. It was easy, and then whenever I got here, there's no place like it. I mean, it's a great environment. It's great people. And did I mention the weekends off?
Last week in college football, LSU beat Mississippi State in a close game 23-20. It wasn't close till the fourth quarter where Mississippi State scored 2 unanswered touchdowns to make it a close game. Alabama skirted past Ole Miss with only a 5-point lead in the fourth quarter. Florida State was upset by Louisville 63-20. Texas was also upset by California 50-43. And next week, big matchups in the SEC include 12th ranked Georgia going to Ole Miss, Florida going to Tennessee, LSU playing at Auburn, and Arkansas playing against 10th ranked Texas A&M.
Last week in NFL football, the Saints played a tough game against the New York Giants, losing off a game-winning field goal, 13-16. Some other big games from last week were Minnesota's upset against the Green Bay Packers, 17-14, and on Monday Night Football, the Eagles beat Chicago 29-14. Next week, the Saints play the Atlanta Falcons at home on Monday Night Football. Some notable injuries from last week's NFL action were Jimmy Garoppolo, who injured his throwing arm, Adrian Peterson, who injured his knee, DeMarcus Ware, who's out 4 to 5 weeks, Doug Martin, who injured his hamstring, Arian Foster, who injured his Achilles tendon, PJ Williams, who had a terrible concussion during the Saints game, and Danny Woodhead, who's out for the season with a torn ACL.
In fantasy football news, Tyrell Williams looks like a good pickup for the Chargers as a wide receiver because Keenan Allen tore his ACL. A sleeper would be wide receiver Crabtree for the Oakland Raiders.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get.
And Mike Evans for Buccaneers. CJ Anderson also looks like a good pickup for the running backs for the Broncos. A bust for me would be Latavius Murray. I do not like him at all because he does not get a lot of carries, and he's been playing a lot of bad teams.
What do I want? My name's Carson Caulfield, and I've decided not to review a movie this week, but rather the Emmys. So September is that time of year where we get to watch the Emmys. And the Emmys is the type of year we get to see people who we don't know and shows we've never heard of win tons of money and awards. I love it. So here are some of the big awards from this year. Best Reality Competition Program, The Voice. Best Actress in a Drama Series, Tatiana Maslany, Orphan Black. Best Actor in a Drama Series, Rami Malek, Mr. Robot. Best Actress in a Comedy Series, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Veep. Best Actor in a Comedy Series, Jeffrey Tambor, Transparent. Best Variety Sketch Series, Key and Peele. Best Variety Talk Series, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. Best TV Movie, Sherlock, The Abdominal Bride. Best Mini-Series or Movie, The People vs. O.J. Simpson, American Crime Story. And the Best Comedy Series was Veep, and the Best Drama Series, of course, was Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones!
So Games of Thrones and Veep. Veep had 42 Emmy nominations and 12 wins since his 2012 debut. It's pretty impressive, eh? And Game of Thrones has received 110 Emmy Award nominations, including 6 consecutive Outstanding Drama nominations, and also 38 wins since 2011. Jason Peters, that's a lot of nominations. So at this year's Emmys, Game of Thrones broke the record previously held by Frasier for total number of Emmys won by a fictional series with 38 wins. Also talking about Veep, it seems like Veep is nominated every single year. And honestly, I think it's a little bit overhyped, but you gotta listen to these awards. If people are winning over and over again and nominated over and over again, there's gotta be something good with this show. Same thing with Game of Thrones. So even though Game of Thrones dominated the Emmys this year with 24 nominations and 12 wins, it will not be returning next year to the Emmys simply because the next season of Game of Thrones, something's wrong about the timing and the release of the next season, so it won't be able to be in the Emmy Awards next year. So there weren't too many big surprises or big losers from last night, but there were a few that I want to point out. Comedy Central only had 1 award out of all the nominations that they had, and it was Key and Peele, who isn't even a part of Comedy Central anymore. Also, House of Cards didn't win anything, and Fargo won a couple, but they were expected to win, or they were nominated for 18, which was, in my opinion, is a huge bust. All right, so in conclusion, this year's Emmys were relatively successful. Pretty much went how most people expected, besides a couple of surprises. Jimmy Kimmel did really well as a host. I liked him a lot. So thank you guys for watching. Just a quick little review of the Emmys. I'll be back next week. And my name is Carson Caulfield, and
Wait, are those Doritos?
Well, yes, they are.
Can I have one?
Of course.
Thanks.
No problem.
I love Doritos.
Hold on to my mind.